And we welcome you inside the campus of Georgia Gwinnett College here in Lawrenceville, Georgia. Not the usual stadium spot. We'll get to that in a moment. But today, it's a National Premier Soccer League semifinal as the 2-seeded Atlanta Silverbacks host the 3-seed in the Carolina Railhawks NPSL. And hey there, everybody. Thanks as always for joining us. Not at the usual venue, but it is the usual cast of characters, John Nelson, Justin Hanover. And before we get to these meat and potatoes, John, where are we and why are we here?
All right, here's the salad. Venue change here to Georgia Gwinnett College. We're about a half hour northeast of the city of Atlanta, city limits. It's a 10-year-old institution in the NAIA, and you know how when we talk about NCAA athletics and football and things like that, and how conferences have teams spread from one end of the planet to the other, the NAIA is no different. Georgia Gwinnett College plays in something called the Association of Independent Institutions that has schools from South Carolina to British Columbia. And we are standing, as a matter of fact, on the grounds for the reigning men's and women's tennis champs here in the NAIA. So we are in high cotton here in Lawrenceville.
All right, so let's get that house cleaning out of the way. Forget about that. Go to your favorite part of the week,
Matt.
what we've labeled as table talk. The Silverbacks finished second. One more goal, either on the road or at home against Myrtle Beach, they would have won the regular season.
Yep.
Carolina, meanwhile, John, they snuck in the back door for that 3 spot, but they earned it in the end.
No doubt. It's time for math and take a look at how the table finished up. And you see Myrtle Beach at the top. 10 games, 21 points. Atlanta had a chance to make some hay, get the win, finish as the number 1. They don't. They have the home game as the number 2. Railhawks finishing up with 14 points. Tobacco Road with 12. FC Carolina Discoveries and the Georgia Revs, they are outside looking in. They are looking at all these games tonight. The Discoveries finished with 10. And the Georgia Revs, who could have helped out the Silverbacks, finished with 5 points in the regular season. So that's I think that's the last time we're going to do math. I mean, unless we have to
We'll find a way to put it back in somehow.
All right, there we go.
Taking a look at the teams right now, the visitors first in Carolina. We saw them here, John, about a month ago.
Right.
They took the 1-0 lead. Silverbacks rallied the 2-1 victory. We thought at that point Carolina only had 3 games remaining, remember. 2 were against Myrtle Beach, then undefeated. Another one was on the road against Tobacco Road, who won at WakeMed. So we thought possibly Carolina losing the game here could have meant maybe not getting in the playoffs in the end.
Yeah, but Carolina didn't lose the game. They put 8 up on Tobacco Road, and I don't know if it was just one of those situations where Tobacco Road was just outgunned that evening. You had 2 hat tricks on the night to take care of 6 of the 8. There was an own goal in the mix as well. 8-1. So if you want to make a statement coming into the playoffs, I think a 7-goal victory is the way to do it.
That is, and Keaton Albert, Niles Bruning with hat tricks, as you mentioned. Let's not forget Macario Hing.
Yep.
He only had 1 goal, but he assisted on 5. So Carolina comes in pretty hot. The Silverbacks won the first 2 meetings against the Railhawks, so they're going to be confident. But, John, the old adage, tough to beat a team a third time, applies today.
Well, but we have to get to Game 3. So let's talk about Game 2. Let's go back to the 5-game homestand at Silverbacks Park. And there was a theme that continued just all the way through, at least until Game 5. They had to come from behind. There's the roadie header in minute number 43 that made it 1-0 at the break. But then someone who was hot in the second half of the year, Joa Johanning, you'll see him come up backside of the box right there in the 74th minute to make it 1-1. And then someone whom we've seen with a lot of great effort off the bench, Avery Shepard, really doing some damage there and making it happen for the game winner. And you want to talk about effort and really making those points go. Here's the call from a very familiar voice.
It's 2-1 Atlanta.
And there's your 2-1 win, big 3 points on the homestand. So you said tough to beat somebody 3 times, but that was how they did it in game number 2.
And can Lightning strike 3 times to go to the analogy well once again?
Right.
So we're moments away. Railhawks and Silverbacks. Who's going to advance? Who's going to go home? Coming your way next, right here. And back on the campus of Georgia Gwinnett College, John Nelson, Justin Hanover, Stephanie Malone, the PA announcer, finishing up the lineups. We'll get to those in a moment. The Silverbacks will be wearing red, Carolina in white. And we will head out to the national anthem. We'll go hear Stephanie Malone into the anthem. And we are almost ready to get this thing underway. John, let's get right to it. Starting lineups first for the visitors.
I was going to say, flip a coin. Tell me where you want to go first. We'll go with the visitors in Railhawks NPSL. Coming out on a 4-2-3-1. In net, it is Bardia Sefnia, 3 starts for the UMass product. He'll be wearing 23 in net. In the back, 2, 4, 6, and 8. It is Luke Sioka, Brendan Creed, Alex Comcia, Billy Arnez. Chase Rohde will also be getting some reps. Pay attention to him, number 24. Remember, he got the goal that put Railhawks NPSL up 1-0 when it came to the action at Silverbacks Park in the regular season. Midfielders, Sonsano and Nick Retzlaff, and up front, combinations of Ian Bennett, Keaton Albert, Macario Hing, and Clayton Sparks. So it is 8-4, 6-2, 24, 27, 17. 16, 29, 30, and 19.
Bingo!
For your Railhawks. Attaboy.
Just always wanted to say that. For the Silverbacks, a couple of new faces, John, that we have not seen at home yet.
And there'll be an introduction for them. Very rude one. The first one that you're going to get is going to be in the postseason. It's the standard 4-4-2. Bryce Billington in net wearing 16. At the back, it is going to be Kamar Brown, 71. Mitch Garcia wearing 18. Paco, one of those new faces, wearing 45. And Sergeant Njai in charge, number 4. Your midfield, another new face, Tiago wearing 33. Ali, and I'm going to let you go ahead and pronounce it because I have a way. Thank you very much. He'll be wearing number 7. You've got Lansana at 8 and Gabriel Obatola wearing 14. Up front, Joa and Pedro, 11 and 10. So your numbers once again, 16 between the sticks, 45, 4, 71 and 18. Midfield of 33, 14, 8 and 7. And up front, 11 and 10.
And one name that was missing for the Railhawks, incidentally, we spoke about him in the Open, I believe. A man that had 3 goals last match in Niles Bruning. Had that hat trick, John. He had it. Keaton Albert had 3. Niles not here today, though. We'll see how that affects this offense.
Bruning on the year, 5 goals, 3 of them in that one game. The redshirt freshman out of UNC had 5 games where he started, so it was half of the lineup for the Railhawks, and he had those goals in minutes 16, 32, and 54. Once again, it's going to be interesting to see where the goals are going to come from since the guy that had 3 of your 8 last time isn't around.
Well, I think they'll take a 5-goal performance today if they can get it.
Yeah, when you got guys like Albert and Hing and everybody else that can come at you in waves, it really showed the Railhawks in the last couple of games of the season, they seem to hit full song.
Silverbacks in red, you see OJ Gabriel Obatola, who actually was a teammate of Paco's, so they know each other well. Paco's staying with OJ these days. And we'll see Tiago as well, the Brazilian, played on the road. We have not seen him yet at home, been training with the Silverbacks for about a month now. And you see him there in the mix as well. John, this pitch, smaller than Silverbacks Park. Not sure who that's going to favor in the end, but it's going to favor somebody, I would think.
Well, when you think about small pitches, first one that comes to mind for me is NYCFC when they play at MLS and they play at Yankee Stadium and they've kind of crammed a pitch into space. It'll be interesting to see, Silverbacks used to playing on their turf. This is a new surface and a new facility here at GGC. Interesting to see who adjusts to it quickly first.
Looks like a heavy turf to me. Really, it's sort of thick.
Mm-hmm.
Here's Thiago on the ball. Very crafty midfielder. Pedro Poles, no foul call. The center tonight, David J. AR1, Daniel Velez. Michael Gooding is AR2, and the familiar Brandon Adams is the fourth official tonight. Here's Kamar. Good to see Brown fully fit, missed some action. He gets it back to Paco. First name is Jonas. And then I'm not even going to go for that last name, so we'll just call him Paco. Hing plays it back dangerously, and OJ trying to get on, cannot. And still in possession, the boys in white. Sarge with a good first touch, Lancena. Here's Abraham. And he plays it all the way back to Kamar. Both teams really going to feel out this pitch at first.
Yeah, I think the first 10 to 15 minutes, you get to the quarter pole, and then you might get your sea legs under you.
Looking for Obatola a lot long, and here comes the chance. Janadala! And that's blocked away well. Well done by Ali. Mitch then gives it away. Garcia, the captain, running. Mitch with that motor never stops. Here's Lancena. Remember, 7 subs are allowed, and it is 2 15 minutes extra time if it comes to that. No golden goal and penalties. Joa, team high 7 goals. Puts it on that left foot and over the bar.
And the way that the field is laid out, it's laid out kind of at an angle. It's not a true east-west layout, but it'll be interesting to see how the pass is coming toward the Silverbacks in the first half. Is it going to be like an outfielder trying to gauge a fly ball in the sun when it comes to Bryce and balls that are high kicks?
And it was right about an hour and a half ago, 100 degrees. It's probably cooled down to about 91 or so, I would say.
I wasn't going to go that far.
So you're going to say about 95?
Yeah, why not?
What's the difference at that point?
Exactly.
Foul called as Carolina on it. And blocked away by Kamar. First corner of the match. Nicholas Retzlaff from Wake Forest, the 19-year-old. See if they play it short. They do. Little 2-on-1 here on Thiago. And well done. Little impatient by Carolina. Nobody for the Silverbacks came out to help Thiago, yet they tried to rush it and it was blocked away.
And at the same time, you saw what they were trying to do, meaning the Railhawks. They were trying to bring it all the way back out and reintroduce it. And I think they were looking at Billy Arnez for an overlap, and it wasn't happening. There was a lot of hand gesturing and conversation after that ball was kicked out of bounds.
And you saw Keaton Albert there in the corner, number 29 with the blonde hair. He also had 3 goals in that last match in Tobacco Road. One of those things, John, you look at that score line, and it's just one of those things, really.
Yeah.
Chile, Mexico, Germany, Brazil in the World Cup a couple of years ago. There's no explanation.
Nope.
It's a horrible day and a great day and a perfect storm.
3 goals in the first 20 minutes, and it went from there.
The own goal against Tobacco Road. We saw Tobacco Road. They had the lead on us. It was 2-1 final. We drew with them on the road. So a very competent squad. They made the playoffs. Just one of those days. Going long for OJ again. And well defended in the end by Rhodey. Hing. And well in by Paco. Good to see the Atlanta Ultras here supporting the boys.
I just wonder if they brought the smoke.
If this game was played on the moon, I've got a feeling they'd be there. And a foul called, Atlanta ball, Sarge on it. You see how big Paco is. You see number 45 in the back.
And those kind of physical presences come in handy in the second season, as we call it.
Atlanta trying to go long a lot here as we're in minute number 6. Looking for OJ up top, that time for Pedro. If you just tuned in, we are at Georgia Gwinnett College.
Correct.
Silverbacks Park unavailable tonight. If Tobacco Road wins and the Silverbacks win, we will be back at the park on Saturday. If Atlanta wins and Myrtle Beach wins, it'll be in Myrtle on Saturday. Long switch. Here's Pedro. Scored the first goal, the only goal in Wakemid about 6 weeks ago in that 1-0 win in minute number 2. Injai. Rugby scrum. A little bit of wind here, I'd say, going left to right, partner, maybe in the favor of Carolina.
Well, and you look at the flag, and it's heading
Cross
toward
a little bit.
and it's also circulating here, and it's heading toward that big berm that as you look, it's going to be at camera right. So the Silverbacks defending the big berm and the circular breeze right now in the first half.
Here's Paco venturing forward. And he's going to stay up top. Tiago goes with a big switch. Ooh, a lot of arm contact in the box. Mitch is going to put it in.
And that almost got away from Railhawks there, playing it backwards off of the side foot.
No harm in the end. Sefnia able to gobble that one in. Better last few minutes here for Atlanta. We'll give you some scores from Ashley Booth when we get them.
So you're saying that's my cue to check the phone, eh?
That's your job, is it not? Math and scores. I can only do so much, my friend, and that's minimal. Well done again by Garcia, and the flag is down, so Atlanta will retain possession. Obatola sat with that 3-game suspension midseason. Joa. Tiago on the overlap. Another long switch. Ali. Janadala puts it on that right foot. The cross. Joanning. Oh, baby, off the crossbar. Almost some more magic from Joa.
Let's take another look at it, and you see Ali working magic on the far sideline. The outswinger for the setup. Let go for Joa, and Joa tried the side bicycle kick off the top of the cage.
If that goes in, we're looking at a little national publicity. 4-letter network's going to be all over that.
And to answer your question about kickoff at Ashley Booth, it's the bottom of the hour.
Very interesting. So they are starting at 7:30.
Mm-hmm.
We normally are 7:30.
Correct.
And I believe they are normally at 7. So we, barring extra time, may not know our fate when we go off the air. Assuming we win.
Yes.
We'll know our fate in a loss. Here's Tiago venturing back. Carolina very good last week. 4 of their goals came when the defender released it. They were able to attack the ball when the midfielder was able to come onto it. They went the other way in transition and scored. Dwan Bader afterwards said that was what they worked on, and it was magical the way it happened. And Kamar Brown's going to get at least a talking to, if not a card right now, from referee David J. It's a good foul, though. He was beaten. Professional foul. Does not even get a color in the end. But, John, this has been the Silverbacks' problem right here, and they worked on it ad nauseum this week. These free kick set pieces.
Because we've seen scorers and scoring opportunities. You'll see people get lost in traffic. A lot of missed markings, a lot of non-marking situations to create opportunities early.
Bennett, and they play short, surprisingly, and a wasted effort in the end by Retzlaff. You mentioned the Rhodey goal here at Silverbacks Park last time, off of a corner. Most of the goals have been offset pieces. And even Mitch said that in one of the post-game interviews, we can't afford to have that happen. In the playoffs, a team's going to score like that on a mistake. They're going to sit back and win 1-0.
Yeah, you can't give away those kinds of opportunities, and they're even more important when you get to playoff time. You're hoping that you will have locked everything down by Game 9 or Game 10, at least in this particular conference, Game 9 or Game 10, toward the end of the regular season.
Ball was lost in midfield. Albert plays to Hing. Macario, and that should be a goal kick. No, it is not. Paco plays it out. Second corner for the Railhawks. You see how vocal Bryce is back there. You didn't see that earlier in the year.
No, but as time has gone on, you've seen what Bryce has been able to do, gaining a lot of confidence, gaining swagger, I guess is probably the way to phrase it. We've seen what he's been able to do.
John, again, no other red shirt is coming out as of yet. Lansano with a good touch. Kinshoak, oh! I thought that was going to get past Creed. Brendan, the Alpharetta native.
Got to hang on to your notes, partner.
It's a windy one right now. I didn't tape this stuff down thinking we'd be all right. Let's blame Wes on that, though.
Wes is busy. He's not reacting to you.
Yes. Showa with the fancy move, retaining possession, room for Brown. Playing to OJ's feet. Former Portland Timber is Obatola. Remember, again, at the half, we were going to effort to get Fode Dalla, the general manager. Spoke to him at the half of the first home game against Myrtle Beach. Love to see his opinions on how the team's really developed ever since. Good win by Paco. Well overlap. Sioka has some room. A lot of white jerseys fill that box.
But you see how the Reds come back just as fast. That's big.
Polez has been quiet. Oh, and Obatola went down hard. And OJ holding that head. Obviously 7 substitutions permitted, including Avery Shepard, who's been very good. We've seen Denzel a little bit, another big boy up front.
It's in the collision with Chase Rhodey. Rhodey went up, got a little higher, and it was the contact up high because Rhodey had probably another 12 inches on the vertical, and it was contact to the back of the head.
So OJ walks off. See the 4th official there, and Brandon Adams. You always have to be wary of the head injuries, obviously.
Yep.
Looks like, though, he just turns around. He's going to come right back in. So far, a fairly even first 15 minutes. Maybe Atlanta a tad more possession, but really nothing all that dangerous for either side.
And once again, I think it was to the point that was made early. You're at an unfamiliar surface, and also with a playoff, you don't want to make an early mistake. You'd rather grow into the game itself instead of putting your team down early.
Sort of like a golf tournament. You
Yep.
can't win it the first few days, but you certainly could lose it.
Yeah, you don't want to go out and shoot a 76 in the first round and try to come back to win the
Right.
thing.
Foul called. Atlanta with this free kick, about 40 or so yards. Carolina sags by around the 18. Paco goes in there. Obitola. Poles. And that should be deflected, and it is a corner kick. Atlanta's first of the evening. Appreciate you joining us here on AtlantaSilverbacksFC.com. John Nelson, Justin Hanover. It is the South Atlantic semifinal in the NPSL. Winner plays the winner between Myrtle Beach and Tobacco Road. Here's Joanning.
Outswinger planned.
Not a bad ball, a little bit too long in the end. Then center trying to track it down. A little bit of wind going that way, and I think it really picked it up and brought it a little too far on Joa.
Once again, you look at the flag by the scoreboard, you see that the wind is coming from the north, but it's swirling in this bowl, and the after effect was swinging it out just a little too much.
Carolina really trying to send overlappers. We've noticed it a lot on this side. They'll get possession, the back will come around, and they'll try and play through.
Yeah, you've had that aggression the last couple of weeks from Carolina. They've put a lot of points on the board.
Put enough last week for pretty much a season.
It does wonders for your goals per game average that's used in tiebreakers in the league.
Indeed. We're lucky it didn't come to that with us.
Yep.
And here now they have down this right side is Hing. Not a well-played ball. Joa. Oh, well won. Good tackle. I'll tell you who I think the small pitch does not favor, and that's Joa.
Yeah.
With that speed, the breakaway, to go to goal, I think he wants a little more width to get that one-on-one situation.
Because we've seen what he does in open space, and when you don't have as much space, you're being forced into a smaller opportunity.
And he's trying to win that foul. Joa did not do enough to create a foul the other way. I'll tell you what, Creed went down like a shot. Talk about potentially getting a yellow for diving. I know that's not normally how it's done on that type of a play, but it's a clear dive. See the full stands here at the home of the Grizzlies. Minute number 20, 0-0. Arnez to take this throw. Just turned 24 from Springfield, Virginia. Paco needed every inch of that to head it away.
And you saw Clayton Sparks there on the joust, waving the index finger, so no, I wasn't the last guy to touch it.
And we did not see the Jacksonville, North Carolina native that last time. Remember, And you astutely pointed out during that match, they did not have their full run of the litter.
Because they had played 2 days earlier out in Conyers against the Georgia Revolution. And then it was sending folks back, not bringing folks down. I mean, it was an interesting side that they put out, and it showed the depth that the Railhawks have.
And remember, Zach Shalowski was coaching that day. DeJuan Bader, so we see a Silverback down. I believe that's Kamar. Their coach was back with the NASL side.
Right.
DeJuan Bader, a coach there as well. So it was really a makeshift patchwork type of a deal, and they were very impressive, though, John.
They were.
They held the lead. They held more of the possession. They were the better team for the first 60 minutes.
But as we've seen, if I can get my subject-verb agreement right, the Silverbacks, they were down in 4 of the first 5 matches, found a way to work their way back. You've seen the growth of players like Avery Shepard. You've seen what Jojo Hanning has been able to do offensively.
And you see the pain of Kamar Brown right there holding on to that jaw, it looks like.
Yeah, I think it was that happened in the argy-bargy that was going on when the ball was in there.
Is that what we call it these days?
Argy-bargy? A little action going on with the joust, and contact was made, and it's checking the left side of that jaw.
I tell you, Kamar is a glutton for punishment. Never seems to avoid some sort of knock or something. Had a little bit of the ankle earlier, had an injury before that. Now his jaw gets banged up.
Well, and once again, to the point that we've made all season long, you have to be cognizant, if not necessarily careful, about head injuries and contact in these situations.
And Kamar's played at a very high level in Jamaica with Waterhouse, played against DC United in the Champions League here in CONCACAF. Well decorated, very talented back.
I think I actually remember watching that match on
Fox, I believe.
It was there. And then I would switch over to the Telemundo version just to get the different play-by-play call.
Still being treated by Sydney down on the field. Now remember, you talk about depth a lot, and you're right. Johnny Resendez has stepped up tremendously filling in for Kamar. So you're not losing a ton by bringing a gritty guy in Johnny.
But at the same time, you don't want to use one of your 7 substitutions in a goalless match in minute 23.
And remember, we could have 120 minutes tonight. So you're going to need those 7 subs a lot more than in just 90.
And then what happens if there's no resolution after 120?
I think we all unfortunately know. That's a long ways away, though.
Mano a mano.
Silverbacks actually practiced that yesterday. Everybody step up, took a couple of them. I think it gave Coach Silva an idea, if he didn't have one already, who his 5 would be.
And then his next 5, if you look at what happened in
I know where you're going.
Over the weekend.
Yeah, we've seen some misses in big spots.
That's a word to use.
Let's just say the Germans and Italians will not put that on their resume reel.
Well, you could put yakety sax under it, and it might actually be pretty good.
Yeah. Ball played in. First touch with the hands, I believe, for Bryce Billington.
Yep.
On this field, Bryce's punts are going to go a long way, and his goal kicks. Not that one so much. Albert attacking on this left side. Last few minutes, Carolina's had a little more of the run of play. Not going to say exactly on the front foot just yet.
But you've seen what a guy like Chase Rohde can do on the back. He's not afraid to climb the ladder and go after a ball in these situations, and he's really become a physical presence back there in this match in minute 25.
Yeah, very impressive at the park last time out.
And I still think, to your initial point, I think that the wind is going to be playing a big issue here before the players figure it out.
And it's not a huge win, but it's enough where it's going to swirl that ball right. Minute number 26 at Georgia Gwinnett College. Myrtle Beach and Tobacco Road about to get underway at Ashley Booth.
Correct.
Hang on it. Here's Kamar back in. Good to see that. Looking long for Ali. And no Pulisic. Remember, we saw the very talented keeper. And well defended coming back was Retzlaff, the midfielder. Silverbacks certainly are not upset that Pulisic's not here. Let's put it that way.
You look on your favorite search engine and you try to track down his whereabouts. July 4th in the German papers, there's a picture of him in his German kit. So he's already overseas learning things. Right now, currently on the senior roster, even though it appears he's probably going to be playing down in the under-23 side.
Think. Yeah. I mean, he's still, I believe, 17 or maybe just turned 18.
Yep. He's heading to Duke until Dortmund called.
That'll do it.
Wonder how that conversation went.
Probably fairly quick.
Mom, Dad?
Oh, good ball sent in, and Billington well saved on his line. Not a good outlet, however, looking for Joa. Here's Hing on this right side. Silverbacks retreat. A lot of white jerseys on the other side, and well won by Brown. Lansano with a good first touch. Pedro. Using that width. Ali with a cross. And a chance for Boles, and oh, a great save. A second bicycle kick comes close. Obatola posting up, heads it forward. Poles. That'll get the boys going. Juice is flowing. And it looks like a Railhawk down on the pitch.
All right, let's take another look at how it ended up. You've seen Ali do some good work on the far side. There's the entry, the bounce, and it was right on target. Nasefnia punching it but keeping control of it. And we know by those kicks who it is.
So OJ does get to his feet. Is he
Yep.
holding his head again?
Something to keep an eye on as we go forward here.
Atlanta playing some high pressure up there. There's Garcia, and he'll win the throw because of that. And Santa plays it back. Plenty of time for Paco. Uses that big left foot. Oh, Linsano with a good poke as Hing was trying to get loose going behind him.
Seen a lot of side shielding for clearances by the Silverbacks backline so far.
Whatever it takes. Garcia using the width. Good ball to feet. Ali takes a shot from distance and blocked away in the end by Rhodey. Minute number 31, still 0-0 at Georgia Gwinnett College here in Lawrenceville. What would we say, we're 12, 13 miles away from Silverbacks Park? Is that fair?
Yeah. You're in the heart of Gwinnett County, so you've probably traveled an extra 15 to 20 minutes.
Well, depends what time, my friend.
As the bird flies. How
Yes,
about that?
stolen away. Here's Polez. Step overs. Puts it on the left foot. Across. The shot. And there's the goal for OJ. And Pedro Polez with some magnificent footwork. And Obatola puts it in. And a 1-0 Atlanta lead. You see, John, the brilliance of Polez.
See
Watch
the
this.
work. He'll go into the box, hang a left. And great flick with the right foot to set up Obatola. Didn't catch it flush, but got enough of it to get past to Sefnia. First goal on the board, minute 31.
The brilliance of Pedro to go left, use the outside of the foot, put it back. That ball, I say it all the time. I say to my daughter's team that I coach, the most dangerous ball is the one you could sort of just come on that angle back because the defenders are running past.
Anytime you have the opportunity to put enough English on it to play it sideways or backwards, with everybody else in that momentum going the other direction, you could really do some good things with it offensively.
So Obatola has been knocked down twice, and he's gotten back up and taking care of business in minute number 31.
Let's
Carolina
see what happens.
Yeah, some high pressure.
Let's see what happens here in that final third here in the first half. The first third, if you want to cut it into thirds, first half was a draw. Second half belonged to the Silverbacks to get that 1-0 advantage. So what happens here as we head toward halftime?
And Atlanta does strike first for the second time at home. But if you want to skew a statistic, you could say we're not at home, I guess.
Home away from home.
And we normally do score first in that regard. 4 of the 5 road games this year, Atlanta on the board first. But remember, that Myrtle Beach game, which was for first, Silverbacks went up 2-0.
Yep.
Oh, and here's a chance. Polez is on. Pedro. Oh, and he puts it over the bar.
And he knew it.
That's one of those, if you're on grass, the ball stays down for you. It's on turf, it comes up a little bit.
Had Billy Arnaz beat. Great idea. And here's your look. And you see him just beat Billy Arnaz to the ball, going the other way with it. And it looks like he got under it, just got behind it and got up.
Lackluster defense, though. They did not realize Pedro was onside. They assumed, okay, I think it was Obatola. He just stopped because he was off, and they did not realize where Polez was.
Billy Arnaz got caught that time. Very fortunate not to be down 2-0.
Rest of the defense, though, as well. I mean, they sort of stopped saying, okay, Obatola's here, no big deal. You see Shoah now on the right side. Little switch. Ali is now on the left side. We've got some of the Silverback brain trust making some decisions, it looks like. Coach Silva, the tactician, with some help from his friends.
See something after 30 minutes, you look at tendencies, you see what you can do to attack it, and there's your switch.
Pedro's really become that guy, John. We've known from the first 10 games. We've learned.
Yep.
He's not the guy that is constantly active. He's not that guy, try and give an example, of maybe a Lansana or somebody that's always running around, high motor, Josh Hughes from last year. Pedro's like a little cat.
He's a lurker.
He's a lurker. He's hanging out. He's waiting for his moments. And when he gets it and when he does that, it pays off.
And at times, those are the most dangerous guys that you can hang out and hang around with because you don't know when they're going to pounce.
You forget about them.
And when they do, you've completely lost them in traffic, and they've done something well offensively. And remember, where Pedro was concerned, for those who haven't seen the games all season long, Pedro got out of the blocks offensively with a couple of goals on the board. Then he became the marked man.
Sure.
Everybody's double-teaming Pedro, and that kind of put his offensive numbers a little further down the ladder, and that allowed Joa's numbers to go up. But when you've got that first guy, you're taking guys away from all the other offensive firepower that you have.
Little trouble on that right side. Atlanta not able to possess. Hing, you saw cross it. And Poles called for a ticky-tack foul. 1-0 Atlanta. Obatola in the 31st from Poles.
You're seeing this turf come up and bite folks already.
Yeah, right past Abraham on that. We've had some rain, not today, but I'm not sure if there's a little skip to it or what, but certainly not the easiest place to possess the ball so far in the first 37.
And once again, to your point about a cramped pitch or a more cramped pitch, when you're trying to possess, you're trying to run, it's unfamiliar, you're coming off a bunch of different variables, you're adjusting on the fly, and it's interesting to see how the two teams are adjusting with this 1-0 deficit if you're looking at it from a Railhawks point of view, and how you adjust in the other 8 minutes if you're looking at it from the Silverbacks point of view. Ball cleared away, Railhawks throw.
Why do you check that phone, partner?
I could check the phone.
See what's going on at Ashley Booth.
Let's see, we would be 10 minutes in. Let's see if we have any kind of information yet.
Carolina with some numbers, looking for a big cross. It is played in the big head of Paco. Arnaz plays it across. Carolina's still in possession. Lanzano with a good touch. Here's Joha on that right side. Obatola with a great pass between his legs to Thiago. And the Brazilian with some room. Blaze it across to Janadala. Here's Ali with a chance. Oh, and a good save. Well done. A little better placement for Ali, and we could have had a 2-goal advantage. Good work rate. Here he is again. Little tug of the shirt, that'll earn the free kick.
28 minutes in. Myrtle Beach, Tobacco Road, scoreless.
Well, I guess they started a tad early.
It's like 7:15 is the way it looks like it evolved here.
That's a good sign for the visitors, because when your psyche comes into a match, you lose by 7 goals, you play the regular season champions in the Mutiny, you just need to at least stay level and regain that confidence and trust of each other.
The more you hang around and the more you hang around, the more
Yes.
you believe in yourself in these situations.
It's interesting. They had the meetings in the beginning of the year with team owners and general managers and representatives, and each conference has the right to go table, straight table, which Myrtle Beach would have won, or go playoffs. This conference opted to go the playoff route. I think the Mutiny would have liked it the other way.
31 minutes down and you're scoreless in your game at home. I would say yes so far.
And the winner, by the way, of this entire conference, whoever comes out of this Final Four, will be playing Miami. They were the Sunshine winner with a very good 8-2 record. So they would play at home for sure against us. I'd have to figure out the math, points per game against Myrtle Beach. Oh, that's a good layoff. Pedro again to Obatola. And a shot will go just wide by Poles. And we can quickly figure out the math. Myrtle Beach, I believe, because of that last draw and not win against the Revolution, if my theory is right, could have cost them. Well, they only had 1 loss.
Yep.
So Miami went 8-2. Or no, Miami, pardon me, is 8-1, John. They still play one more match.
Correct.
As they play, I believe, the 10th against a good Jacksonville Armada under-23 squad. Oh, that's a great ball up top. Shoah.
Center.
Obatola has a shot if he wants it. Defense comes over. So as of now, Miami at 8-1. If that's the case, at almost 3 points per match, I believe would have the tiebreaker over Myrtle Beach. But that last game can be very important to determine that.
Efforting the information.
Myrtle Beach had 21 points, correct, in 10 matches.
Correct, 2.1.
So that's 2.1. Miami, I believe, even at 8-2. Yeah, see, they're at 24, even if they lose the next match.
8-1 through 9,
right.
24 points total.
And the flag goes up for, I believe, the first offsides of the match, much to the chagrin of Ali. So whoever comes out of this conference will go down to Miami, the Sunshine winner.
Because worst case.
Yeah, they go 8-2, and they still have.
And scoreless, and right, and so you'd have 24. So 2.4.
Yes, is going to beat 2.1 any day that I know.
Yes. And you said I was the guy that did the math.
Well, I just do simple math. Hing with a good turn. Help coming over in Lancena. Minute number 43, we're approaching 1-0 Silverbacks. Obatola, 11 minutes ago.
And yes, to answer your question, Miami United is at Armada under 23 Sunday afternoon.
Which is a meaningless game.
Yes.
If we are correct.
Because Armada right now is at 18 points. They can do no better than 21.
Right. Miami's already clinched.
Yes.
My question was who gets that home field, and it will be them.
Miami at 2.4.
Good crowd filling in here at Georgia Gwinnett College.
And when you look at the South region, you're looking at Tulsa Athletic, you're looking at FC Wichita, you're looking at Chattanooga FC, you're looking at Miami United, you're looking at Myrtle and Atlanta out of here. There are a lot of good squads in the South region.
That's a great ball from Paco up to Ali. Paco with an assist in that last match, went 40 yards upfield for the Silverback goal. Obatola, Lancena, they switch. Here comes the captain in Garcia. Mitch with a one-on-one opportunity. Left foot across. And Polez again! We're in bicycle kick heaven here 44 minutes in.
There's another look at it. Let's see how it sets. The wind held the ball up that time for Mitch to give this clear. Center, hop, good hold, and why not?
I don't think we saw 3 of those all year.
Nope.
I don't know if we've seen 1 of those all year.
Might have been 1. I think there was 1, and then there was also a scorpion kick at one point.
Jaime Chavez-like from a year ago? We approach minute number 45. I think Carolina coach DeJuan Bader is going to have to get a little more creative. I think Carolina going forward has just not done enough so far.
And the back line for the Silverbacks, as lanky and as thick as they are, have been able to put a lot of legs in a lot of passing lanes.
Sort of oxymoronic a little bit. Lanky and thick.
Long legs, big trunk.
Yeah, that sums up Paco. He's a strong young man.
You see Railhawks possession in the mid, and Silverbacks more than willing to let that happen. But then you see
well in by Paco, yes. And here's Janadala. As we are officially in added time. Can't see there being too much. OJ was down, no substitutions. My guess would be 1. Joanning's been very quiet. Talk about going up the ladder.
Yes.
A minimum of 3 minutes, we've just been told.
Interesting.
Carolina playing it across, and ball a little bit dangerous. You see Brima putting his arms out, talking to Bryce. We'll see this formation again, the Jacksonville Armada NASL type formation. And again, nobody helping Thiago, so Atlanta willing to be down a man in the corner if they want to go short.
Willing to have one more defending back.
Ball played in. Garcia able to stick out a left foot. Macario Hing very strong on the ball. And another corner kick. Chase Rohde comes up. Almost everybody comes up for Carolina. Arnez stays back. And I believe that's Creed back.
Because remember the highlights in the pregame as to how Railhawks scored. Rohde on a header off a corner.
And here's Bennett playing it in. This has been a problem for Atlanta. Janatala trying to track it down.
Kept in.
Obatola with those long strides.
You saw how the wind just kept that ball up.
About midway through added time, a minute and a half in. We did have Kamar down actually also. I forgot about that. So between
yes.
OJ and Kamar, 3 minutes makes sense.
Wind
Flag goes up. So Joa deemed offsides. Would have been a dangerous situation had that flag stayed down. Again, we'll have Fode Dalla, the general manager at the half. We'll catch up with him, get in his mind.
There's some cool stuff to talk about, too.
And that'll do it. The first half now is in the books. Gabriel Obatola from Pedro Polez. John, my big take from this half, Carolina just not creative, not doing enough offensively.
And when they tried to do something offensively, the back line of the Silverbacks comes up huge. We've been talking about a bunch of legs in passing lanes, a bunch of folks interrupting the passing patterns of the Railhawks happened big. And the goal on the other end, great assist from Pedro Polez, creating the opportunity for the goal.
A ton of creativity and magic. We'll have highlights. We'll have the GM, Fode Dalla, when we come back. Silverbacks on top, 1-0 at the break.
having.
And welcome back here to Georgia Gwinnett College on the campus in Lawrenceville. 1-0 Silverbacks at the half. You know this guy, the general manager, the architect of the Silverbacks, Fode Dalla. And Fode, appreciate you joining us. Before we get into the whole team process, and I have a million questions for you, first half impressions.
Well, first of all, thank you guys for having me. I'm very impressed with the guys, both teams playing very tactically sound, trying to be very cultured because this is a playoff game. But I'm impressed with the guys moving the ball around, sticking to the plan, exactly what the coach wanted to do and what we expected of them. Try to get a goal in the first half, and then second half we're going to come out and get two more goals and put the game away. But I'm very impressed with the guys are playing.
The magic from Pedro. You saw what he did down that left side. Just brilliant.
The kid has been a phenomenal player, from day one. I would love seeing him play. I was just telling the guys that I can't wait to see one of those basketball finally get in the back of the net. I would do a dance for them whenever Pedro can put one of those basketball in the net. The kid is awesome, very, very creative player.
We almost saw 3 of them already. Just 2 by Pedro. I think OJ had one. All right, let's talk about this team. We spoke earlier at the half of that first match at home against Myrtle Beach. You came back from the road trip 2-0-1. You were happy. You were impressed. Now the regular season's done. You've seen 10 matches. Only 1 loss in the end. You've got to still be extremely impressed by these guys.
Yeah, like I said, I'm very impressed. The team building is very difficult, because I've been there as a player, and standing on the sideline. It's very difficult. People don't see what goes behind the scene. But we've been very, very impressed. The work that is put in there. You've been to several practices. The work that is put in there by those guys, the coaching staff. I'm very, very impressed with the way we developing. I mean, we normally accept say a whole season, and this is just a very short season to see the kind of how the guys have come together, how the guys are gelling together, different players from different area. I got like Thiago who just came in, yes. Paco, Jimmy, how you fit in the back line. I mean, it's amazing how the team is developing, and I'm very, very impressed. Like you didn't see the Myrtle Beach game. That was one of my best games I've seen. We control the game with a very high pace. I mean, first half, two goals up. I am very impressed with the team is playing. The way the whole team is getting together. Not just the first 11, but also the bench.
And a very deep team, no doubt. There are probably 5 or 6 guys on the bench that could be starting today, no doubt. You've been very transparent throughout this whole process. One of the goals is to get guys to a higher league. Nobody's lying about it. It is what it is. Have you received feelers? Have you gotten phone calls? Are there guys here that, in your opinion, right now, we will be seeing in an NASL, in an MLS uniform, maybe in Europe, that there's good headway and traction for that to happen?
Yeah, definitely. I've talked to a couple of coaches from NASL, and actually we're supposed to have a scout here watching one of the guys here. And I'm getting some good feedback, from coaches around the league here, and I keep my finger crossed. Hopefully we can get 2 guys or 3 guys, or even 4 playing, a professional coming next season. So yes, definitely there's a lot of big potential.
And credit to you for putting this talent on the field, guys that are not. Look, it is what it is. They're not getting paid, yet they're coming to professional training with Coach Silver to bring him in. The whole atmosphere has just been incredible. I mean, I am down there, like you say, and it's a professional organization. It really is. Credit to you, credit to Coach.
Well, yeah, credit to everybody that involved within the organization, and it's a difficult thing to do. Seeing guys that don't get paid to work as a pro and behave and still be patient. And some of these guys are coaches. They will leave their job like we go on the road. Some of those guys will call me and say, Coach, if I go, I'm missing 2 days of work. So one of those guys have to do to have a child, babysitting, pay the babysitter. Right, so right. We have to work with some of those different situations like that. But the guys buy into the philosophy. They know exactly what we want to do, and they believe in it. So that's the most important thing, and that's what gets us going like this.
But yet you've got a lot of characters, guys that like to have fun. Tell me something. Give us a good story about one of the guys or the coaches or the team as a whole.
Okay, I'm gonna start with the first one, and I'm gonna get it back after this game. right before we walk in the locker room, I told OJ, I said, OJ, I want you to score a goal today. He started laughing. I said, if the referee can finally allow your goal, and that was just like 45 minutes ago. Before
and against Myrtle Beach, he had one call back, a couple of weeks ago call back as well.
Yeah.
So that's the
so
preface.
and then another story, a funny one between player and coaches. Okay, it was the coach told me that he was interested in taking Josh to Kuwait. And then when I came to Josh, I told Josh, I said, look, I said, Coach really like you. He would like to take you to Kuwait to play down there. A lot of money. He said, no, Kuwait? No, U.S., MLS, here, not Kuwait. So
he loves America.
He loved here. I mean, he's still here. He just got married to an American girl. So he loving it here. So it was very funny, you know.
Final question. The vision of this franchise going forward. What is it right now? Are we going to see the Silverbacks for a long time to come? What does Fode Dalla think about this team going forward?
Well, you know, since the Silverback has been here forever, okay, right? So it's here to last. You know, it's going to be here forever. But we talking to people. You know, the fans want this team to be backed at a professional level. So regardless of what, it's still going to be here, and we're going to continue to keep this club at the top professional level, treat it as professional. If we're going to stay back in the NASL, in the NPSL, yeah, we'll continue to work hard and keep a great level of professionalism here. But at the same time, we stay working on the other way to get the team back to a professional club.
Fode, thank you for all the hard work you've put in, sweeping the floors. You've done everything. People don't even know the dirty work that you've put in. So thank you. 1-0 Silverbacks at the half, thanks in part to the architect, this guy, the GM, Fode Dalla. We'll have highlights coming away right back here in a moment.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
And back on the campus of Georgia Gwinnett College, John Nelson, Justin Hanover, 1-0 Silverbacks at the break. Gabriel Obatola on some magic from Pedro Poles, but you did just alert me to another score moments ago.
And the other score is that there is no score. Tobacco Road's Twitter account actually put it up first, that it's 0-0 Tobacco Road and Myrtle Beach. Myrtle Beach Mutiny's Twitter feed was a little slow in registering the halftime score. So right now at Ashley Booth, 0's on the board, 1 goal on the board here. And you want to take a look at what happened in the first half?
Let's take a look. 1 goal, but plenty of highlights.
Yes. Bicycle
kicks galore.
Yeah, there is. And I really think that pick your bicycle shop, you're going to see a lot of bikes here. There's one of them. There's your little flick. There's your first bicycle kick. It was over and high, but it did go off the bar. Sefnia with good defense right there. And that was the first bicycle kick of 3 that actually went down in the first half. Let's take a look at, here's a set piece for Carolina early on. Bryce Billington coming up big there. Bryce challenged a couple of opportunities, but he was pretty solid in goal all the way through. Now here was another piece of magic. We saw Ali working on the far side, doing really well. And bicycle 2 right onto a Sefnia, punch front, and it was cleared. So still scoreless at that point. And then here's the goal. Here's the work by Pedro. You'll see him cut. And then outside of the right foot, Obatola turn past the Sefnia. That's 1-0 right there in minute 31. And we mentioned that there were 3 bicycle kicks. We're going to get to it in a second. This should have been 2-0. Pedro's opportunity here. The back line of the Railhawks caught napping. Pedro puts it over the middle of the bar. And here's Ali after the switch to the near side, minute 38. This was right on to a Sefnia with a punch save there.
Lazy defense, John. They are not rallying back hard to the ball.
And here is bicycle number 3. We make it a tricycle, I guess, at that point. Nice entry here by Mitch. You'll see the chest and the turn just wide. And that's your 3 bicycle kicks. Probably could have had another goal or 2 on the board in the first 45 minutes. And there you go. It is 1-0 here. It is scoreless. Tobacco Road and Myrtle Beach in the other playoff action here in conference.
Now an adjustment. I think Carolina, Coach DeJuan Bader's got to get a little more creative, John. They haven't done enough in that final third.
And we've seen them do a lot in the back third and the middle third. And the Silverbacks are just letting them pass, letting them get their passing drills in. They're getting some 1-2s, but at the same time, nothing happening because of that solid back line of the Silverbacks. Those 4 in the back, solid, as we've seen in the first 45.
We'll see what kind of changes are going to be made here. Atlanta leads 1-0 at the half. We'll be back. Final 45 to come. Second half about to get underway. One substitution we were just alerted to for Carolina. I believe Brees Eves Omer has come in. Was it Clayton Sparks?
Clayton Sparks. Nick Ema in. Sparks out.
So Clayton Sparks, the sort of lone striker of sorts in their formation where they have the one striker. He was the one, and now Brees will come in. Many thanks to FD, Fode Dalla, for that halftime, 8 or so minutes he was able to give to us. And, John, we didn't even really get into the details, but you talk about a guy doing everything. FD has cleaned the showers, swept the floor, brought in the players. I think he's probably even done the laundry, the uniforms.
Yeah, and there are a couple of special events that are going to be happening associated with the Silverbacks later on here in the month of July that we can get into as we're talking here in these next 45 minutes. You're going to get some special visitors coming to Atlanta to hang out with the Silverbacks, and it'll be interesting to see just how friendly they can be.
Yes, indeed, and we'll get Fode back on here because there are some announcements that need to be made, and let's get him back in here. Fode, I forgot to mention it.
Yeah, you forgot to mention some stuff.
Probably the most important thing of all, which I wanted to talk about, I just ran out of time and forgot. We have a couple of special guests coming. We have some fun times ahead. Just tell us exactly what's going to be here at the park coming up.
Well, pretty soon, coming soon on the 23rd of July, we're going to have Middlesbrough Football Club coming here.
From the English Premier League.
From the English Premier League. Just move up to the English Premier League. And we are very excited about that because we're trying to bring top level of soccer to Atlanta. So bringing a Premier League team in the city of Atlanta, I think we're very, very excited about that. We want to give our fans something to cheer for.
And now that will be at the park. Say the date again. That's Saturday, I believe, the 23rd.
Saturday, the 23rd of July.
And it's a friendly match with Middlesbrough of the EPL. In case you didn't get that, obviously with the Silverbacks in the NPSL, what's known as the 4th Division, we are getting the English Premier League's Middlesbrough to come here.
Exactly.
Incredible get.
And then there's something else happening the week before, right?
The week before that, we have the Nigerian Olympic team coming here. They're already here, actually. We'll be hosting them. We'll be having a scrimmage against them on the 13th of July.
And that is a Wednesday.
On the Wednesday, weekday.
Now, that's the afternoon. Obviously, that's all we could get. Understandable. But that is a Wednesday afternoon, I believe, 3:30, correct?
That's correct. But the good thing about that is we inviting all the kids that play soccer. We're going to have clinic with them, with the coaching staff of the Olympic team and our coaching staff to run a clinic, a free clinic for every kid that can attend.
That's incredible. Now, where can, if somebody just got clouded with too much information overload, can they find it on AtlantaSilverbacksFC.com? Is it on Twitter? Are there any releases anywhere that they can look this up to make sure?
Yeah, you can check on our website. You can also follow up on the social media, as well as Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and all our social media. You should be able to get information. We're going to be starting this. We're going to be very aggressive with the news, sending out information and keeping people informed about what we're doing the next few weeks.
So this is, I think, the first maybe that a lot of people have heard of this.
Well, I think it's been out. It's already been released on our Facebook. So yeah, some people should be aware by now. And then we still gonna do more our social marketing people start doing sending a lot of information out there, and make sure that everybody in Atlanta know what's going on.
Now we could be setting up a problem, but a good problem to have. Now, if you do a little math, and John, you're the math guy.
Thank you.
Saturday the 23rd, Middlesbrough. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Sunday the 24th, hopefully we'll have a problem of, I think it would be national semifinal time.
Exactly.
So back-to-back is never what you want to do, but in this case, I think we want to do that.
Yeah, this is a good time to have this because, again, the people of Atlanta deserve high-level soccer. So they're just going to enjoy it. Like you said, we have a deep squad, okay? We have a bench that can start. So our bench is very, very deep. So that will give us some time to use our to rotate players. But
now my question is, I mean, those are some big names that are coming into town. Some that are already here, some that are coming. Without kind of giving it all away, because I know that there's some negotiations you can talk about. What did it take to get these two groups here? What kind of negotiations did it take? Hey, we want to have a friendly, and you're using your cell phone, which has every number known to mankind.
Literally.
What did it take to get this kind of activity to Atlanta?
Well, I would say it's all about personal relationship. Okay, these are people that coach for the Nigerian national team. This is my childhood friend, the head coach Samson Siasia. So, and my friend again, Boomy, who instrumented everything to bring the squad over here to do their preseason over here. Like you said, they can do it anywhere in the world, but due to personal relationship and so we were able to get them over here. Middlesbrough is the same thing too. So it's good to know some people.
I was going to say.
You know a few people. That Rolodex is loaded.
Well, funny story, without giving away all of it. We were just talking Premier League earlier in the season, and a particular team came up. And you flash your cell phone, and it's the particular manager's cell phone number.
And not a team that's been relegated
No.
recently.
Don't give the name.
No. But, yeah, it was 0 and then a bunch of other numbers, and it was
Plus
this
sign.
particular coach's cell number.
Yeah.
And, okay, how many other coaches in that particular league do you have cell phone numbers of? And how can I get your phone to copy those numbers?
Well, can't give them away. They're very personal, but probably two of the top Premier League team, like the most popular ones. Yeah, two of the coaches. One of the coaches just being transferred to another club, another big club. So
Instant credibility for you,
Uh-huh.
partner, when you saw that number and name in there.
Oh,
Then you
I
knew
was
FD
applauding.
was legit if you didn't know it.
Oh, I knew he was legit, but it's just interesting to look at that Rolodex, look at that phone, see that coach, and go, oh, that's interesting to have that particular coach there.
It sounds like you memorized that number. Because
He
I
had a
would have
spy
loved
that
to.
took a picture
I
from
should
his
have
cell phone.
taken a picture when you flashed that number. But to have a Middlesbrough come to Atlanta, recently promoted, first year in the Prem in this particular cycle with the new TV deal, a lot of excitement there with Aitor Karanka and what he's doing there, bringing that bunch here. I mean, and the Middlesbrough folks, they have one of the most rabid fan bases that's out there, because if you remember when they were promoted, they did a pitch storming, and practically half of the group ended up on the pitch celebrating. And yes, there was smoke and flares and fires and stuff, but they didn't burn the pitch. Everything was fine. But Middlesbrough's got a great fan base and something else to attract folks to that particular match.
And Joa, by the way, just taken down. So Atlanta will have a fairly dangerous opportunity outside the 18 as the big boys in Njai and Paco are coming up. More with Fode Dollar here, though. And, yeah, kudos. I mean, to get Middlesbrough, and again, I know people are out there saying, wait, that can't be Middlesbrough EPL. There's no way. It is. Check it out online. Nigerian Olympic team. It is. They're coming to the park. We're having a clinic for kids, and it's coming up in the next 2 weeks as well. We're not talking about the future. Ball played in, and Atlanta takes a 2-0 lead, and again it's Pedro Poles coming through.
Back post, unmarked, easy header, and it's 2-0.
And again, don't forget about the work on that left side by Joa. He created the opportunity to give that 2-0 lead. And also, Atlanta had this 2-0 lead against Myrtle Beach, so you can't get too high on yourselves right now. But FD, describe that play.
that was a beautiful piece of craft work by Jawar from the left side. And you said on mark, but if you see the movement from Pedro, Ibra, and Paco was amazing to break loose Pedro on that ball.
Pedro losing Ian Bennett off the back post, and it's 2-0, 54 minutes in.
Carolina still, they don't have that creativeness. There's nothing in that final third as of yet, and it's still plenty of time, but at some point they're going to have to, Coach Bader's going to have to change this philosophy up.
Well, looking at it from Fode's point of view, I don't think he wants him to right now. He's up 2-0, man.
You want to get us an update there, partner?
I can get you an update. We'll see if we're still at the half or if they've converted over.
We can keep Fode here with us. If you want to hang out, please do.
Second half is officially underway. Scoreless, Tobacco Road and Myrtle Beach.
And I will say this, from talking to other clubs in my sort of juvenile dealings, not comparing myself to you, but everybody is afraid of this Silverback team, and with good reason. They knew nothing about us in the beginning of the year, and now that they do know something about us, they're more afraid.
Correct.
You've got guys that played in the Russian Premier League. You've got guys that played in First Division in Sweden, Second Division in Sweden. OJ played with Portland. If you could put this collection of talent to play together and fight for each other, you knew you'd have some good times, and it's all come to fruition to this point. So 2-0 Atlanta. Poles a goal and an assist. Obatola with the other goal. Retzlaff on that right side. Kamar able to come back, win it, and it'll be an Atlanta throw in minute number 56. John Nelson, Justin Hanover. If you're just tuning in, we are not at Atlanta Silverbacks Park. We are at Georgia Gwinnett College here in Lawrenceville, about 12, 13 miles north of Silverbacks Park.
Sure. Sounds good.
The Atlanta Ultras are out. I'll tell you, I love the park. I love this seating arrangement of it. But it's nice to see, FD, this standing type crowd that when I grew up, this is what we had. Friends, cousins, parents, they would stand on the sidelines.
Yeah, if you watch me most of the time when I go to the game, I don't sit. I'm still used to that atmosphere where you stand and get a feel of the game. So this is, I like that as well. That's why I chose to stay right here and watch the game from far. And it's nice to see the kids, having fun, enjoying the game. It's not like the Silverback Park where you have a lot of seating, but allow the kids to move around and enjoy. That's what the game is about.
How much input have you had in terms of, you're a coach? I mean, you've also coached for years and years. That's your background. With Coach Silva, are you involved in decisions coaching-wise, or do you try and just let him do that? How has that worked out?
Well, I allow him to do his job, because it's very important. You try, which is very difficult, because he asks me sometime,
Sure.
But I allow him to do his job, because in one thing about coaching, coaches live and die by the decision they make. Okay, so you allow them to make their decision, because it's very difficult to be over your shoulders. Look, press this button, do this, do that. So let them do their stuff freely. If they need you to come and say, hello, hey, what do you think about this? And give my input and stuff like that.
And we've seen numerous examples of the Jerry Joneses for the Dallas Cowboys and Snyder in Washington. The guys that meddle a little too much, it normally comes back to bite them in the end.
Exactly.
But you guys have really found that chemistry and that right mix.
Yeah. JC and myself have worked together for a very long time, from youth soccer. So he understands me, and he respects me, and I respect him. And I trust him. That's why he's here, and I allow him to do his job. A lot of times people ask me, man, can you tell the guy? No, I can't. I sit down, allow him to do a thing, and he's doing a very, very good job.
Carolina plays that quick. John Nelson, Justin Hanover. Here's a shot from distance, and not enough quality on that. We've mentioned JC, Hassanir Silva. Talk about some of the other guys, the assistants. ZZ, who's a well-decorated player for many clubs. You have Felix, who's the physio, doing a great job. Anthony Takpa. I mean, the staff that you've assembled is almost as impressive as the team.
Well, look, my staff is expensive than the squad. Just to get, sometimes when I sit back and see, like I said, Felix, just doing this job, we cannot afford to pay what he's doing. He do the physical job. He do the scouting for the team. He do the match analysis and all that kind of stuff like that. And then you're talking about two great assistant coaches, the likes of ZZ Robert and Anthony Topa. You can't beat that with a baseball bat. I mean, it's amazing to have those guys in that's why we're doing so well.
Now, you've known them, though, for a while, too, right?
Yes.
So that's punching up the digits.
And Anthony, when we were high school, Anthony, ZZ grew up in my community way back, when I was in high school. So, yeah, I've been knowing this guy for a very, very, very long time.
And ZZ, if you don't know ZZ, he was AC Milan? He played, I think, with Colorado Rapids.
Yeah, Colorado Rapids. That's why he ended his career out of a terrible knee injury. And ZZ actually was recruited by the great Capello.
Do you have Fabio Capello's cell number?
I didn't know. I don't.
When you look at this squad from on high, as you've done all season long, as there's another foul, was there a moment when you looked at this bunch and said, okay, they've got it together? Or is this still a work in progress where they are still trying to get to full song? Was there a moment when you sat there and said, yeah, this is going to be a good bunch and it's going to be a good team?
Well, before I answer your question quickly, if you look on your left, this is the great FC Barcelona staff, coaching staff right here on your left. They are our guests tonight. They're doing camp at the Silverback Park. As you can see, those guys flew from Barcelona to come over here. So just to tell you some of the relationship we have here and what we're trying to bring to the community. Answering your question, well, when I first we brought the players together, and just knowing Jasinier, the way he works, he's very hands-on. To have a coach that coach that like to break things down, he broke like you have a toy, you broke it, you take it apart, and to put them together. and seeing the work, seeing them gel. And most important, I always say the road trip, even though we lost the Open Cup, but that was the turning point for everything. Because the time we stayed together, we worked together, and Josh and myself,
Just a substitution here. Ian Bennett checks out. So that's their second substitution. And we have coming in Paolo Bucci, who came in as well at the park when we saw them last time. Sorry, FD, go ahead.
Yeah, just to see them training every day, because I've never missed a practice. To every training, every road trip, everything. So just to see them working together, the way the jet, the way the team, the way everybody, the bench, the starting 11, the way they all work together, and Justin here has a way of bringing the team together, and it's very amazing how when you see it, being a coach or player, seeing how the puzzles goes together, it's amazing. So every time I watch them, especially like I said, the last Marley Beach game, we saw that they came to me and said, "Look, we have a very good team."
So maybe that was to answer the question in a long roundabout way, yeah. And you know what? You may get back to Ashley Booth Stadium in a couple of nights. You sort of want that, or you want to be at home?
I would love to host it. Because I think my fans want and deserve that. I would love to host it. But hey, like I said, I want to control my destiny. I think we focus on what we can do our job, win our game, and we see what happens. For the 5 minutes from now, we should know what we're doing.
Chase Rohde playing it out of the back. Dalla with us, John Nelson, Justin Hanover. Go ahead.
The only thing is they're just going to hurt our pocket.
That is true. And
whoa.
Good hustle there by Obatola. And you say that and we laugh at it, but it is a concern.
Oh yeah.
I mean, on this level, you have to pinch pennies. You have to sweep the floors. It's almost part of the beauty of it, but it's obviously, when I say beauty, it's a two-edged sword.
That's right.
It makes you feel real good when things come to fruition, but it is a little bit of a crutch.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's tough, but just seeing you plant a seed and you watch it grow.
Yes.
This is how this reminds me of. Just everything just coming together, smoothly and beautifully.
Carolina on this side now, long cross, Garcia. Oh, and some good moves there by the big guy who came in, Taiwo. Here with Fode Dalla, the general manager. FD, talk about, oh boy, we're going long. Here comes OJ off the Bryce punt. And that ball's just rolling downhill. Talk about who we don't talk about a ton, but probably deserves as much credit, if not more than anybody. Your captain, Mitch Garcia. What Mitch has done here has been just incredible. You
don't know what Mitch does around this team. Mitch, if we travel, Mitch do the laundry. I mean, it was amazing, and I'm glad that he didn't start the game against Discovery. Mitch was doing laundry up to 2 a.m.
Wow.
And I was pissed with him. I said, why?
That's a story you should have told me about.
I'm very serious. 2 a.m.
He's the captain. He leads some of the drills. He has your guys' ear a lot. And I was just told the other day, he's also the one that sends the texts out to people, alerting them when we're meeting, when we're doing this.
Mm-hmm. He went to the Silverbacks before coming over here, pick up the uniform, because some of the players forgot that uniform. So he went and picked them up and brought them.
Downs if ever there is.
Yes. Ali's had a real nice match. Ali's got a motor going on, doing some nice things here. And there's Tiago, good width used.
And I think it's safe to say that when Mitch did the laundry, he didn't mix whites with reds.
No.
Everything was in the correct temperature.
Yeah.
You mean like 2 days ago when I looked at my socks and my daughter says to me, "Daddy, why are your socks pink?"
Uh-huh.
Well, it's the pink shirt that was mixed in from Mommy, I think, sweetie.
Okay.
That is correct.
Blame it on Mommy.
Well, no, I blame it on me, because I do the laundry. 2-0 Silverbacks, minute number 67, having some fun with the GM and John, and it's good to have you on here.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, I don't think people realize the amount of work that you've put in here, what you've put together. Carolina looking for that first. And they just put it wide, and a goal kick in the end.
Off tie will last. Here's another look at it real quick.
Good work rate, though. Nisieka.
And speaking of that young man, Tago is a kid I know very well. He's a Nigerian background. I know his father. His father's a friend of mine, actually.
Sophomore out of NC State, attended Cardinal Gibbons out of Raleigh.
And a great save there, really. I didn't realize until the replay by Bryce. You talk about a guy that's come into his own and really, with confidence, has elevated his play, FD. Bryce has been thrown in, and he's been great.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very impressed with the young man because this is a kid I knew since probably 10 years or 11 years old. And just seeing him developing his confidence, growing. Coming to the season, he was not a starter. You know that Ahmed was our starter. Well, due to injury and stuff, Ahmed lost his position. And since then, and the one thing I respect the coach, he decided to give the kids what he deserved because he worked for it. He been winning, so why take him out? So the kids' confidence is growing, and I'm very impressed with him. Your local boy from Atlanta.
Yeah.
And it's great to see him, getting better.
Is it fair to say he is the number one now? It's his job to lose?
Yes, it's his job to lose. He's just like a Tim Howard and Brad Guzan story. Yep.
Here comes Ali, one-on-one. Has some help. Step-overs. Jandala. Needs a little help in that corner.
A lot of help. Deflection. Is it corner?
Yes.
Corner. Good work by Ali there.
Awesome.
I think this is the time in the match show. Minute number 69, you're up 2-0. You're not going to send a ton of reinforcements with Ali.
Yeah, cool story for Ali, right? Ali came over here, did preseason. He couldn't get clear because the Kuwait Federation couldn't release his RTC. But Ali had to go back to Kuwait, and he came back. The very day he came back, RTC was available. The 30 days was over actually, so he was.
So by default, he was in clear.
Yeah.
Now he knew Coach Silva before.
Yeah, the club that Justin, the last player coach at, he was at the youth system of that club, so he knew Justin very well. He was one of the kids he brought up from the youth team to the top team.
Ali's come back nicely. Out of rhythm, not with his team for a good month to start the season. He's really fit in well. Carolina needs to do something offensively. Sioka. I believe no substitutions yet for the Silverbacks. At least 3 for Carolina.
3, yes.
Here's Paco coming out using that big frame to defend. Sioka with it. A little more dangerous is this Carolina squad as we get in minute number 70.
And to Justin's point that he just made, while there is a starting 11 and the depth that is on the roster, it's almost interchangeable parts. There might be new faces, there might be guys coming off the bench, but everyone fits in their places, and you've seen that over the season. Everyone has evolved fairly well.
Yeah, and that's what I was talking about, the coach, how he worked, how beautifully he work his magic, allowing players to understand the position. So when you take a guy from the bench, you know exactly what to do. He's fit in exactly. And you see, I've seen Abu getting ready to come in. Abu started on this team in the midfield. He's on the bench right now. So to see that and see somebody, Thiago, come in and do a very, very good job, and then Abu can come in and pick up his slack easily. But I'm very impressed with our OJ today, Obatola. He's done a very good job. He's a guy who have a lot of ability, very, very good on the ball, he hold up play. It's just been his fitness, and he's doing a very good job. He's working on this fitness very well.
And OJ obviously with that red card, disappointing that Myrtle Beast match. Whether it was a big choke or not, still something that he needed to learn. So there's been some learning, growing pains, and issues. It all hasn't been roses. Well saved by Bryce.
Excellent save.
you really see the confidence level. Bryce doesn't do the things he's doing now a month and a half ago.
No, couldn't. Bryce, even when they tell him that he about to start, he feels nervous. But, and like I said, the kid's growing very well. He's still growing, and I'm very, very, very impressed with his development.
How much do you wish the Open Cup started later, and you had Pedro and more guys cleared, and you were able to get in a rhythm, and you were able to make a run to turn some heads?
Hey, I can tell you, you can't go back in the future, right? In the past, but if we had played the Open Cup like after 3 games or even 2 games,
sure,
we would have beaten that team. But hey, that's how it was meant to be, and we just continue to look forward and trying to go as far as winning this.
And at the same time, in a situation like that, where there's an early knockout, you get to focus on your league and your schedule and get to the point to where you are right now.
That's right.
You see that in a lot of open competitions, whether it's here in the States or overseas. A big name gets knocked out early by a minnow, and then they get to focus on what's going on.
Leicester's advantage would help them in the end.
Correct. That helps some time, So we had to leave the travel, the Open Cup, and focus on our season. And I'm very sorry. My wife just flew from Canada, and she's just from the airport came straight here, so she's here. I want to greet her.
Absolutely. Thank you, FD. The
Definitely.
architect, general manager.
Gotta please the boss.
No
the
doubt.
boss lady.
No doubt.
Thanks for hanging out.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, FD. Well done.
Well
done, my friend.
Thank you for having me.
Ali just checks out. Abu Tami, who Fode just spoke about, who was a starter on this team, comes back in. I'll tell you, John, we are seeing Carolina starting to get a little more real estate. They're starting to get in that box a little more, and you figure they're trying to peck away and get that first goal. Like, here comes some numbers forward. Little danger. The brick wall of a back line, though, has done a job.
Hang with the introduction there. It was absolutely knocked out in a hurry, and the Silverbacks come back the other way.
Obatola dispossessed, running hard, though, to get back on that. Well done by Lancena. Abraham is solid as always. The typical number 6 out there. He doesn't get the credit, but he always gets the job done. Thiago. Minute number 75, John Nelson, Justin Hanover. If you just joined us, we are not at Atlanta Silverbacks Park. You are correct. Georgia Gwinnett College is hosting us tonight. Saturday, though, if we are at home, it will be back at the park. If we win, or in Myrtle Beach. Good ball from Pedro. Joa can use some speed here if he can gobble it in. He does. Poles running hard to goal. Joanning. Oh, and Obatola puts it over.
He knew it.
Looking for that second goal, and great moves from Joa. We'll see another substitution from each side.
Looks like High Res coming in.
See if he's coming in for his usual spot in Kamar. Yes, he is. So Kamar will check out. Johnny will come on the right side. The captain, Mitch Garcia, will move to the left. I would say overall, Kamar may have a little more of blue chip ability.
Yep.
May get on a higher level, but Johnny's work rate, effort, and tenacity has been just incredible this year. Johnny and Bryce may be the two guys that you've gotten a lot more than you expected from in the end.
And it takes all kinds. It takes the guys with the motors. It takes the guys who can come in and be super subs and sprint for 20 minutes. And we've seen who those individuals have evolved into being so far this season. We're here in Game 11.
Then Sana goes long, deflected away. Bucci. That's a good ball going across. And Garcia to Joa. I don't even think he knew Joa was there, but when things go well, they go well. Abu with a good first step.
Side all the
Joa
way
has
over.
his path to goal. Here comes Joe Henning looking for a third, and he slides it in, and Joe Henning has done it again. A team-high 8th, and John, I don't want to say this thing's over, but a sigh of relief, a 3-goal lead.
They always talk about 2 goals being the most dangerous lead when it comes to this sport. Johanning, great individual effort on the far side. Let's take another look at it. The side foot.
That's just not good enough by Rhodey. Not good enough recognition. He gave the path for Joa.
And 5-hole on a Sefnia. And a Sefnia knew it. It's 3-0. And going to math class, about 10 minutes behind, still scoreless, 66th minute, Tobacco Road in Myrtle Beach.
I'm not sure what's going on, but I will say this. Coach Bader, John, is not going to be happy about the defense's effort. Too many plays, they're just loafing back to the ball. Right there, we saw it with Rhodey. You've got to get back and at least get that angle. He just gave an Olay and let Joa go.
And he tried to match him stride for stride and have longer strides, and it was far too late.
3-0 Atlanta on top. Obatola in the 31st. Polaz in the 54th. And you just saw Joanning with his team-high 8th. Every time Pedro tries to get back in the race, he gets his 6th. Joa says, not so fast, my friend. Here's a chance for Carolina. Sarge on it. Little 1-2. This is just not the same effort that the Railhawks had in Tobacco Road.
Yeah, when
unfortunately for them.
Take those transitional opportunities, you put the pedal down, you put 3 on the board in a hurry. You could tell that there was some frustration with the Railhawks offensively going up against that big back line of the Silverbacks, not getting anything done. They had 3 goals on the board the first 30 minutes against Tobacco Road last week. Not a whole lot of offensive chances, much less stuff in the back of the onion bag in the first 30.
Just for the first 80 minutes, not a good enough effort for the visitors. They just don't have the creativity. They're being outclassed right now. And again, they are missing some guys. Pulisic, a great keeper. I don't think any of these goals have been the keeper's fault. But you just don't have that back link. You don't have a guy who scored 3 in your last match.
Nils Bruning not in the game tonight.
And Atlanta's coming all guns a-blazing. We will have a couple of interviews after the match.
Might take him a little while to hike up the hill.
Here comes Joa again. Has Tiago across if he plays it. Joa looking for another one. And Tiago puts his arms up saying, come on.
Man, I was open.
Yes, he was. I think if Joa watches this replay, and we'll see it again right here.
Look at all those white kits left in the
Tiago
dust.
holds the run. If he holds the run right here, oh, that's perfect. And another substitution upcoming, and I believe it will be Tiago checking out.
Good 80 for Tiago tonight.
Yes. Came over here about a month ago. Started training, not cleared. And now this is his 3rd match as Douglas Diwa comes in. You talk about interchangeable parts.
Yep.
Diwa, Tommy, Resendez, all have played at least half the minutes. And now you get them to come in fresh. It's almost not fair.
But that's what you want this time of year if you're a Silverbacks fan. You don't want it to be fair.
Oh, well, right, for us, sure.
Put the pedal down and go.
Oh, here comes Mitch. Garcia's going to play it back. Here's Pedro looking for a brace, and he gets it. It's become too easy for Atlanta. I don't want to use the Q word, but things have gone south in a hurry for Carolina.
2 goals in 5 minutes. Joe on the 77th. Pedro in the 82nd. Let's take another look. Mitch on the overlap, and look at the presence of mind that he has. Checking, and just chicks it back a little bit. And a rocket past to Sefnia, and that's 4 on the board.
The captain and Mitch Garcia cannot say enough about him. And you see Pedro hugs all around. Coach Silva, there's ZZ Roberts. OJ's going to check out. Avery Shepard comes in. Local product, Clayton State. Avery's been another one of those guys.
Yep.
I think you didn't realize you were getting the amount of quality that you have. The 3rd leading goal scorer on this team with a couple, including in that last match in Rock Hill.
And we've seen Avery's game come along.
Yes, we have. Very good at just this. Just being able to get the ball and possess it and lay it off.
Keaton Albert with a bit of a sharp elbow to welcome Avery Shepard into the match.
And Keaton with that hat trick last match, playing a little bit deeper back now.
69th minute. Last update we had, Tobacco Road, Myrtle Beach, scoreless.
Hopefully we'll get a final when we're still on the air, but looking doubtful to this point. Bucci. The only thing in doubt right now, I think, is Bryce's clean sheet.
And with all this
Here's trouble.
talent, yeah, that's just outside and a card. It sets up an interesting kick opportunity here.
And we hear Bryce screaming from up here. Again, we would not have heard that.
Nope.
Months ago. Couldn't fully tell who got that card. Was that Abu? Abu or Diwa?
I think it was Abu.
And Abu, a big-time player, if you don't know, he had some eye problems that seem to be corrected now. But Abu has played at a very high level.
More substitutions coming in.
Now it's almost just get some guys some run. Atlanta's done the dirty work already.
Patrick Kelly in, Calvin Cromer in for Railhawks.
Johanning Lensana, the glue to this team. The offense-defense combination checking out. We'll see Mamadou up top. And Adnan. So here's a good opportunity.
Right on.
Billington all over it.
Deflected early after it was kicked. Billington stayed with it, stayed down on it like a good infielder would in baseball. Keeps a clean sheet in 86.
Adnan Bangura, another guy that has started a bunch for this team. Sort of a holding midfielder, defender. We spoke to him earlier in the year. He likes the midfield more, likes the vision of it. Actually led the reserve squad last year in goal, so certainly can put him in as well. Here's
And
Abu.
to your point, it was an interesting perspective that he gave. He said in midfield, it's almost in 3 dimensions for him, and where he's an active part of the process, where if he's told to be back as a defender, it's almost like watching on television at parts.
Good ball as Mitch backtracks. Oh, look at Garcia. And here comes Paco. Ball played in. Trouble. Bryce with the punch. And a bit overzealous with Sioka, the Tar Heel. Minute number 87. Silverbacks will have a date in 48 hours from now, either at the park against Tobacco Road or at Ashley Booth against Myrtle Beach. We'll get another substitution, and this is good to see, John. Very good to see. You see Bryce trotting off. Ahmet, who hasn't played in a long time with that injury, gets to come in.
And that's good. He's going to get some reps, and that's always a good thing. We saw the presence that he is in net. And now knowing that they're going to have at least one more match.
Yeah,
Conte
this is a good time.
introduces and gets a good 7 minutes probably.
Yeah. Here's Diwa with some room. Jallo, who played in the 3rd Division Portugal recently. Good situation to work on a free kick right now.
Doing math, it looks like 79 minutes scoreless.
We may be seeing 120 minutes there. Atlanta's worked on this on the offensive end as well. Abu. Frustration on that.
But once again, we get into talking about turf. This is a new surface in relation to what the Silverbacks are used to playing on, so it has its quirks. And what was the word that you used early describing this particular turf?
It just seemed a little heavier. I'd say it's similar to the park. For some reason, standing on there just seemed a little thicker. A little more plodding.
More like being on a beanbag chair instead of a welcome mat?
A little bit. I don't think enough to really make a huge difference.
But enough to make you pay attention.
Yes. And again, John Nelson, Justin Hanover, appreciate you guys hanging out with us on AtlantaSilverbacksFC.com. 4-0. Silverbacks on top. Gabriel Obatola in the 31st on a great play from Pedro Polez. Polez then in the 54th with a 2-0 lead. Joa, his 8th in the 77th. And Pedro with a brace in minute number 82.
Near miss for Herman Mendoza of Tobacco Road. 80th minute, still scoreless.
Well, if Tobacco Road can pull that one out, the Silverbacks organization will certainly save some travel money. Abu plays it quickly. Nope. Ref slows it down. Minute number 90. We'll have interviews and highlights after this match. Oh, that's not a good sign. Hopefully just a cramp as Pedro Polez goes down.
Yeah, that's what he's grabbing. That's what it looks like.
Now, I didn't count, but did Atlanta use all 7 substitutions?
Close.
They've used at least 6, I would say.
Diwa, High-Res, Mamadou, Adnan, Abu Tami.
Did you say Ahmet in goal?
Ahmed at 6.
So very smart if he did save one, just in case. 3 minutes of added time. 3 minutes. Very good job by Stephanie Malone filling in tonight on the PA for the reliable Laura Taylor, who does such a great job. Not able to make it tonight. Laura's the best at this. She'll be doing the Nigeria match coming up, and she sent out a tweet, John, saying it'll be the most challenging day of her life. Oh, and here's a chance for Carolina. And Conte on top of that. I mean, you think about the potential names coming to town.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what Ahmed's doing right there.
Oh,
he's got to tie a shoelace.
Tie a shoe.
I know he's rusty, but
delay a game.
Can the referee stop for that, though? I don't really think you can.
No. I think this is just gentleman's agreement here.
Professional courtesy, yeah.
It's like, you know, yo, I got to tie my shoe.
It's the most energy spent in the past month, Ramit. I say that, though. Nobody trains harder.
Oh,
He's
was
out there
really
running,
hoofing it at practice when he was able to,
Amit's a true professional, may play for his country. Coming up, he's excited. His name was in the papers talking about how he may. Just a good, solid young man. Look, who's that, Sarge? Yes. Oh,
and a takedown coming back the other way.
This is the time you've got to be really careful.
Yes.
The only thing that could go wrong right now, and I don't even need to say it. We saw it with Georgie right about this time.
Cards and cards.
Yes. Moments away, midway through the expected 3-minute added time. We'll keep you abreast on Myrtle Beach. We'll get you interviews. We'll get you highlights. Maybe we'll stall long enough to get a final there. Who knows?
And for the record, Carolina has used 5 substitutions.
That's it? Wow.
Bucci, Taiwo, Nikima, Cromer, Kelly.
Felt like more. Did
I
you
know.
add the one at the half?
Yeah, that
Okay.
was Nikima for Clayton Sparks.
And that's it. So the Atlanta Silverbacks not able to muster a goal through the first 30 minutes. The final, your math guy, what is that, 59 minutes?
Well, it was 4 goals in 51. How about
51.
that?
Went swimmingly. Obatola in the 31st from Pedro, then Polez in the 54th, Joa in the 77th, his 8th, and Pedro on his heels now with 7. He gets the brace. We'll take a quick break. Atlanta will move on to the conference finals thanks to a 4-0 win. We'll be right back here on AtlantaSilverbacksFC.com. And a good night for the Atlanta Silverbacks, not at the park. Where are we tonight?
Georgia Gwinnett College. We are here at GGC in Lawrenceville.
I would say it came to a pretty good effort in the end, a 4-0 Atlanta victory. We'll talk to Gabriel Obatola momentarily, some others as well. Let's first, though, partner, get to the highlights and see these 4 great goals.
Goals, 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 and goals, and there were bicycle kicks in amongst all of it. Brought to you by your favorite bicyclist. And here's Pedro Polaz. Great move in the shimmy there, outside of the foot. And the guy we're going to be talking to in just a sec puts it in the back of the net in the 31st. 4 goals in 51 minutes. Makes it a 4-0 final. Here's your set piece. Now, look at the action toward the back post. The near post, as you're looking at it, Pedro Polaz clear. Pass to Sefnia. That makes it 2-0. And the Silverbacks are well on their way as Polaz gets on the sheet. And someone else who's gotten on the sheet a lot, Joe Johanning. Great
Poor
work.
defending, John. Look at this.
Leaves Rhodey in the dust. 5 holes of Sefnia right here. Makes it 3-0. And the 4th goal on the board. You'll see it in just a second. Great move by Mitch to keep it back in play. The launch by Pedro puts it in the net. That's 4. It's 4-0 your final. And Justin, I believe you have a guest.
I do. I have a goal scorer, Gabriel Obatola. OJ, before we get into other things, talk about that goal. Pedro with some brilliance.
It was a fantastic goal. You know, I've been scoring some goals during the league, and it's been kind of like disallowed by the referee. And
not kind of. They have been disallowed.
Yeah,
by the
they have
referee.
been disallowing my goals, though. But I mean, today it was a good feeling, you know, to score in the front of the crowd, in the front of the home crowd. It was good.
You really worked hard today. I mean, you were the guy up front. We've seen Avery do it. We've seen some other guys, Denzel, do it. You came through. The ball comes up to you. You possessed it. You had a good work rate in this one.
Yeah, I mean, it was everything. Shout out for the team, though. You know, we played as a team today, and the coach, you know, we played to his pattern. He asked me to hold the ball, you know, to wait for my supporting striker to come and play with him, and which it was very good for us today. We did, we played to game plan what the coach asked us to do.
Talk about with you. It's been an up and down season. Myrtle Beach came here. You received that red card. You learned you were out for 3 matches, a third of the season. How did you keep your head in it? Did you lose your head for maybe a couple of days being upset?
Yeah, as a striker, for you to get a red card, of course, I was upset for some days, talk to my friend, my family, and, they keep encouraging me to come back, and I've been playing pro for a while now. I know what it takes, to be out of the game. For me to come back, I have to go with my A game, which is, for the team to win, and looking forward for the next game.
The team that you've compiled now, how confident are you with this group? Guys like Abu and Johnny, who have put great minutes in, coming off the bench tonight. It's an incredibly deep team that Coach Silva and Fode have put together here.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, shout out for the team. Everybody has to play their role. Everybody is competing for the position, and the new boys that came in, they step up for the job, and the senior players also, they're waiting for their shot, which is going to come. Everybody is family right now. We play as a team, which is very good for the team right now.
Now going forward, Myrtle Beach and Tobacco Road are scoreless right now. I believe. John's got an update. What do you have?
Goal by Ibrahima Diouf of Tobacco Road, 90+.
Wow. So Tobacco Road now a 1-0 lead in the 90th. We're not going to say anything, but you could be playing at the park in 48 hours. Would you like to do that?
We love to do that, though. I mean, it will be a very good home game also for the fans, and for us as well, which is we got the fans behind us. Everybody is supporting us from the day one. It's good, though, if we can have the game here. It's going to be a really good game. We not underrate any team right now. We're just going to play to the coach pattern, which is good. He has been helping us from the day one.
Well done, my friend. Congratulations. Great goal, great effort.
Thank you so much.
We'll see you somewhere Sunday. It could be at the park. It could be in Ashley Booth. We'll be back. We'll hopefully get somebody else. But this man, OJ, Gabriel Obatola, well done, my friend.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
back at Georgia Gwinnett College. Justin Hanover, you know this guy, Kamar Brown, the defender. All right, so you went down on the pitch a couple of times today. You played a great game as usual. Are you okay? All your faculties in shape right now?
Yeah, I'm okay. I just get a little elbow in the jaw and stuff. So I was feeling a little dizzy in the second half. So I decided just to get a change to let that next player come in and fill that spot and do the job.
The team as a whole, great effort, 4 goals. Joa does it again. Pedro does it again. Guys like you and Mitch in the back and Paco now. How much do you feel like a well-oiled machine?
Well, we are well focused and prepared for this game. We work hard in training. We keep compact in the back. We keep on talking to each other in the back. We do our job first before we go forward. So we do a great job tonight.
Carolina came here to your town. How would you like to have potentially a home game on Saturday? Because right now, in the final minutes, Tobacco Road is beating Myrtle Beach 1-0. I think, John, any updates?
Still 92nd. Ibra Diouf converted the penalty in the 92nd. That was a couple of minutes ago, so the refresh button is my friend.
And you were just over there with the ultras, with the fans.
Yeah.
How great would that be to get them another home match at the park?
Yeah, we're going to get that home match. We're going to get that win on Saturday and the next day. So hopefully we do that job on Saturday at home, finish it off, take home the cup, and celebrate with the wonderful fans we got at home.
And talk about Paco. I mean, this is the first time I've seen him. He's a beast back there just holding everything down.
Well, actually, he played the first game with us back in South Carolina.
Right.
And he do a great job. I was keep on talking to him, he talked to me, and we got a combination together right now on the left side. So we decided that we're going to keep on talking and keep on working hard and keep compact in the back. So we do that job, and Paco do a great job.
And the whole defense, Johnny as well comes in for you. You know, talk about what Johnny's meant to this team.
I got all confidence in Johnny. So I don't care if Johnny coming on for me or start for me. Johnny's do a great job, and I'm very happy for him.
Kamar, thank you. Thank you. Well done as usual. I think we got another guy here. We've spoken to him before a time or two. Come on in, Joa.
Thank you, man.
Thank you, my friend. Well done. Any updates?
Still an extra time. 5 minutes of extra time on the board. Still 1-0.
1-0 Tobacco Road, which means if they hang on 48 hours, you could be back at the park. How gratifying would that be to play for the championship at home?
Oh my gosh, it will be great. It will be great to receive the final at home. I pray to God, you know, because I wanna play this game, the final game at home, and you know the fans, do you support us, can enjoy that final. But I hope so. That game finish in 1-0, so we can play the final.
Even if not, though, you guys played really well at Ashley Booth in Myrtle the other day, so you're okay with that.
Yeah, I mean, whatever is come, first thing, thanks God for this opportunity. We work humble, we work hard, we get the final, we want to win. I'm so hungry to win the final. You know, I play a little bit easy because I got 3 yellow cards. I don't want to get the 4th one, so I can miss the final. But thanks God for first thing we got to the.
Those 3 yellows, by the way, in 3 straight games. Don't think we weren't watching that. Talk about your goal. Did it seem almost too easy to you? You took the ball down, and they just sort of let you go to goal almost. They would just react it slowly, and you did exactly what a striker should do.
Yeah, I work every day, you know, to finish every angle to the goal. This time, every time I like the far post, but this time how I see the goalkeeper positioning and the goal, and I put over there. I believe because I work hard every practice, I try to do something different. And thanks God to this opportunity, got another score. And first of all, the team work very good. I like it. You know, we work hard and we deserve it.
I will have to rib on you a little bit, just because you're great. You do everything to perfection. You had Thiago on that play. You wanted another goal. Just admit it.
Yes. To be honest, the first thing I'm thinking about is give it to Thiago. But how I see the defender close the angle, so I didn't believe myself to put the ball over there, and I tried to put cross. But
you're a goal scorer. That's what you do.
Yeah. Next time.
Final question. Talk about the way this team's come together. You guys right now just are, as I said to Kamar, a well-oiled machine. Everybody's doing their job.
Yes, we try to work on group. If Kamar make a mistake, I have to be there to recover. If I make a mistake, Pedro have to be there to recover. So that means we look good because everybody work together. We work together. We work for my teammate, you know. So in the beginning of the season, we look, it's difficult to come put this group together. And I think the well done work for JC, doing good job, is make the team, all the players come together, feel like family and feel like group.
Now, you're only 1 goal ahead of Pedro now. I think he's got 7, you have 8.
The most important for me is not the goals. The most important for me is the team win, be the champions, and well done, and move forward.
And eating bananas?
Yeah, lasagna a lot.
Lasagna
a lot.
bananas.
And
So there's your goal scorer again, Joaz Johanning. Silverbacks win 4-0. We'll come back. We'll take a quick break. John will have, hopefully, a final update. We'll let you know this guy's fate, where he's going to be in 48 hours from now. Keep it right here.
thank you.
Final segment, John Nelson, Justin Hanover. Quick recap and a quick final score from you.
Well, I think the question that you posed in the break, how do you lose 8-1 and come back to beat Myrtle Beach 1-0? That's the question. Tobacco Road advances and will be here in Atlanta Saturday for the title.
At Silverbacks Park. So John and I will see you then. The Silverbacks win 4-0. Tobacco Road wins in Ashley Booth on a penalty late 1-0. And that'll be for the championship to see who goes down to Miami the following week. Appreciate everybody here. ATP Productions, Wes, Mel, Rich, my partner John. We'll see you in 48 hours. Get some rest.